Hi, my name is Dr. Matthew Rinaldi, a psychiatrist and psychotherapist working in the UK. I've just finished working with a client who came to see me because the medication that he was on was causing him to put on far too much weight. So I wanted to share this video to give you the same advice that I gave him. Now, why do these medications cause people to put on weight? And by these medications, I'm talking about the antipsychotics, so particularly medications like clozapine, olanzapine, quetiapine. These medications act on several receptors in the brain: histamine receptors, serotonin receptors, and dopamine receptors, all of which via different pathways cause you to feel more hungry more often, particularly craving carb-heavy and sugar-heavy foods. And in addition to this, they reduce the amount of energy you burn up at a resting state. So your thermogenesis rate is reduced when you're taking these medications. This problem can be overcome, and I'm going to present you with some of the solutions that I've found over the years have been really helpful for people. And down below, I'm going to link you to the evidence that backs up what I'm saying. So why is this an important problem? I think a lot of people get worried when they're putting on weight that they're going to develop diabetes, be at risk of heart attacks and strokes in the future. The good news actually is that if you're experiencing a serious mental illness, so serious that someone's felt fit to prescribe you an antipsychotic, actually by taking it you reduce your risk of dying. If you keep stopping it, not only does your mental health condition get worse every time you relapse, but also you're at more of the risk of physical health complications. So the takeaway is to continue taking it as prescribed. But that runs into a problem, doesn't it? Because we advise our patients to take medications for months to years after their last point of crisis, during which time they're eating more, exercising less, and therefore putting on increasing amounts of weight. Why do we do that? Well, we know that if someone stops taking their medications within months and years of their last crisis point, and particularly if they stop them suddenly, they're at very high risk of relapsing. So it's important that you keep taking it as prescribed. But how to manage the weight gain when it starts? We can think about some quick solutions to tackle medication-related weight gain. So first up is reviewing the medication. If you've been on the same medication for several months and years after your last crisis point, it would be time to return to your prescriber and to ask whether you need to be on the same dose of medication. Often we find by making those initial reductions, even before we stop it, people find it easier to lose weight. They feel more in control of their hunger. In addition, if the medication you've been started on is making you gain lots of weight, there are alternatives. And again, you can talk to your prescriber about switching to other classes of medication if that's really important to you. Now, also to normalise weight gain, not only does the medication cause weight gain, but also being mentally unwell causes lots of people to lose weight, either because they can't look after themselves or they just haven't got the get up and go to eat properly. So actually, as part of recovery, lots of people do put on a couple of pounds. However, if you find this is spiralling out of control, we need to think together about some of the lifestyle modifications you can make today to get on top of this. Now, first up is exercise, specifically resistance training. Cardiovascular training, so running, swimming, jogging, is all very well and good, but unfortunately, on average, people will just reconsume the calories that they burn off during the activity. So we do recommend resistance training, trying to convert that fat into muscle, because at resting state, muscle burns much more calories than other cells in your body do. So go out, get yourself a kettlebell, join a gym, and try and bulk up a bit. This will have multiple benefits for you, but specifically related to weight gain, the fastest way for you to get on top of this problem. Now, in terms of your diet, there's lots of changes you can make to what you're eating. So firstly, antipsychotics will make you want to eat lots of carb and sugar-heavy food late in the evening. We want to get ahead of that by filling you up with lots of vegetables, fruits, and protein earlier in the day so that your stomach feels full and you have less of that craving for carbs, which is an endless cycle. You'll never feel full enough if you go that route. So we're thinking beans, fish, meat, and all of the leafy green vegetables that you can fit in you. On top of this, you could consider supplementing yourself with soluble fibre, which you can buy online, and you shake up in a drink, you swallow it, and when it's in your stomach, it swells up so that it makes you feel fuller, and you need to eat less on top of that. It's really good for you. Fibre reduces your risk of colon cancer, heart attacks, and reduces your cholesterol in and of itself. So what's to lose? In addition to this, you want to be drinking as much water as you can. Again, you want to stay really well hydrated and making your stomach feel distended so that you feel satiated more often during the day. In terms of other ways you can modify the way that you eat, we advise you go for bowls rather than plates and have smaller servings so that you feel quicker when you finish a smaller plate of food. Secondly, you could consider spending more time preparing your food and chewing it more. This increases the mastication phase of digestion and means that you again feel more full from less amount of food. Finally, if you're putting all of these things into practice and you're still finding that weight won't shift, do approach your prescriber and ask for help. Not only can they consider alternative medications, but they can put you in touch with nutritionists, dieticians, and prescribe exercise for you to help you shift those last few pounds. There are some medications coming onto the market now, diabetes medications, that have some evidence in helping people shift antipsychotic related weight. The good news is that any weight that is put on because of antipsychotics, we've got really good evidence that actually it all comes back off again once you're off the antipsychotics. So good luck on the rest of your recovery, and if you've put on a couple of pounds now, it's just temporary while you're recovering. You will get on top of this again in the future. So yeah, I hope this helps. If it has, please like and subscribe and check out the links below for some of the evidence that I've used to inform this video. If you have any other suggestions for how to lose weight that's been put on by psychiatric medication, please share it in the comments below, and it'd be great to have a conversation around what you found helpful.